And welcome everyone to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful one out there. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to listen to this track, Fade to Gray by the band Visage. This is off of their album. Hold on, I'm pretty sure it's the same, like, I think it's just the name of their band, Visage, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to pull it up. I thought I had it. Yes, it is. Released in 1980. This is their debut album. We're listening to this particular track because, one, it's the absolute favorite song of... Oh, I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing your name. I apologize. Girithoralong. But it was also suggested by Hijikale Melanope, Del Little, and Ron C. So thank you guys so much for the suggestion. The band name looks familiar. And to be honest, the song title looks familiar. But I couldn't tell you at all off the top of my head like what it sounds like. So we'll find out if this will be a first listen or not. I'll let you know during or after. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and pull up the song. We will talk about it a little bit after. And here we go. It's an interesting opening.
Devenir gris. Devenir gris.
One man on a lonely platform, one case sitting by his side, two eyes staring cold and silent, shows fear as he turns to hide. We fade to grey. We fade to grey.
Un homme dans une gare isolée, une valise à ses côtés, deux yeux
I like that
fixes
synth line.
et froids,
It's kind of ghostly, strange.
montre de la peur
Alien.
hostile, se tourne pour se cacher.
We fade to grey. We fade to grey.
Fades of Grey reminds me of a song that would be played in like a, I don't know why I'm thinking that. I know it's French that's being spoken here, but like in a German nightclub in the 80s. It's just kind of giving me a certain style, like a sophisticated kind of club. You know, like, I don't know, there's sophistication happening in this club that I'm seeing. When the singing came in, I enjoyed the singing, and I believe that's going to be Steve Strange, which is a great name, on the lead vocals here. I also see that you have Midge and Billy Curie from Ultravox on this album, and I'm assuming playing on this track as well, which is really interesting. Obviously, you do, kind of hear some of that, synthy sounds that I guess you would hear in Ultravox here as well. But if I'm being 100% honest, I actually really didn't care for this track. I found it kind of cold and not really interesting to listen to. Like, I liked moments in it. I love the little, like I mentioned, that strange synth line that comes in on the side at one point in the first half of the track and kind of quiverly, well, let me rephrase what I'm about to say. It has this melody that plays on the side that kind of quivers, and it adds this spooky and yet strangely alluring kind of atmosphere into the song. I really like that. I didn't care for the main synth chords and that pulsing that's happening there. It was just kind of, it didn't do anything for me. But like I said, the moment I did kind of enjoy it was like when the drums came in, and then I believe it, like I said, it's going to be Strange that comes in and starts singing. I actually like that portion right there. It just changes up things just enough to give it a little bit of, like, I don't know, maybe a more human touch for myself in this particular track. Whereas a lot of it just kind of came across a little cold for me. I'm feeling that way. I think. Like right here. And I like the little, subtleties like the plucking there on the side. I think that when he came in, his voice did add that warmth and a little bit of like a sophistication into the music. And I was following that. I really enjoyed his singing. I liked how it mixes in with the music. But besides that, when he wasn't there, and he was only there pretty briefly, it just didn't work for me, to be honest. It was just kind of boring and I didn't care for it. Yeah. That's all I have to say on that. But I do have a little bit more to say on the lyrics. All right, Devanir Girls, or Gris. Devanir Gris. What does this mean? Turn gray. Okay. It says here, most of the English lyrics in Fade to Grey are actually translated into French lyrics sung by Bridget Arends. One man on a lonely platform, one case sitting by his side. Two eyes staring cold and silent, shows fear as he turns to hide. Ah, we fade to grey, we fade to grey. All right. Un homme dans un gare isolé. A man is something alone. A suitcase is... Oh, I mean, I think it's just repeating the lines actually from here. I don't even have to translate that. I'm pretty sure that's just the same. That's the same lines there. Yeah, it's the same exact lines. Okay, all right. See, but I don't know this part. Feel the rain like an English summer. Hear the notes of a distant song coming out from behind a poster, hoping life wasn't so long. We fade to gray, and then it repeats it there again. So it just goes back and forth between the English and the French. So I understand he's sitting on the platform, but the question is, what is he waiting for? He's waiting to leave, like he's at a train platform, or he's waiting for someone to arrive. Or he has a suitcase, so he's packing up and leaving. Felt the rain, heard the notes coming from behind, hoping life wasn't so long. Could he be at the train station and waiting for the train for another reason? And hence his life is fading to gray? Or perhaps this is all just a metaphor for, like I said, moving on and fading to gray, eventually fading into oldness or old age or perhaps death. Something of that nature. Let's look at this particular track. It says it was the band's most successful single. It entered the singles charts in late 1980, peaking number 8 on the UK singles chart and number 1 in West Germany and Switzerland. Steve Strange was on lead vocals. There you go. It says, let's see, skippy. Payne came up with the bass line and the chorus while Curie added to the other parts. They worked on it during the sound checks at Gary Newman's tour. Sharpley, the drummer of Newman's backing band, was also heavily involved. In those days, it was called Toot City. Initially considered to be released as a Billy Curie and Chris Payne single, the track eventually became part of the Visage project. While setting the track listing on the Visage album, suggested the use of the melody and wrote the song's lyrics. And of course, you have all those chart informations as well that was mentioned, and also here on the screen currently. So there you go. Let me know what you guys thought of the track. Like I said, while it really didn't do it for me until he was singing. Perhaps there's another song on this album that has more of him singing, because like I said, his voice was kind of like that thing I connected with, that kind of brought it all together, and for me, brought into focus. I know that this was a very popular song, so, you know, be easy on the hate. But but still, you know, I am who I am and I hear what I hear, and this didn't do it quite for me. But hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you all later. Bye.